Her name was Hind Rajab. She was just 6 years old. Trapped in a car with her family, surrounded by Israeli tanks, she called for help. "Come save me!" she cried, her tiny voice shaking. But no one came. Hours later, rescuers found her lifeless body, shot, alongside every member of her family. And countless other children, some with dreams of becoming doctors, artists, teachers, are now names on gravestones. Over 35,000 babies left orphaned, their families wiped out. No one to hold them, no one to protect them. The air in Gaza is filled with their last words, their final cries for mercy. But mercy is something the world has refused to give. And yet, in the halls of power, where silence is the rule and truth is a threat, one voice rose above the rest. A voice not from an outsider, not from a Palestinian activist or an Arab leader, but from within Israel itself. There are 35,055 babies orphaned in Gaza. Their blood will haunt you. These were not the words of an enemy of Israel. They were spoken by a Jew, by an Israeli, by Ayman Odey, a politician who dared to speak the truth in a country where truth is treated as treason. Ayman Odey is no ordinary politician. He is an Israeli Arab, a leader of the Hadash party, and one of the few voices inside Israel who dares to challenge the state's crimes. He has spent years fighting for Palestinian rights, demanding an end to apartheid, and calling out the government's brutality. But now, with Gaza reduced to rubble, his voice is louder than ever. He stood before the Knesset, surrounded by politicians who cheer on Netanyahu's war machine, and he did the unthinkable. He held them accountable. He called Netanyahu a serial killer of peace, a man who has never sought coexistence, only conquest. He accused him of writing a legacy, not of security, but of slaughter. He demanded that the world recognize what Israel is doing for what it is, genocide. And for that, he was silenced. His microphone was cut off. Security was called. He was dragged out of the chamber like a criminal. Not because he lied, but because he told the truth. Because that is the real crime in Israel, not dropping bombs on children, not erasing entire families, but speaking about it. The Israeli government will not allow dissent. It will not tolerate anyone who dares to expose the blood on its hands. And so, Ayman Odey has become a target. But his words cannot be erased. His warning cannot be unheard. Because the reality is, Netanyahu's crimes will not just vanish into the air. The thousands of dead children, the orphans left wandering the ruins of their homes, the mass graves filling up with entire families, these are not just statistics. These are the scars of history. And history will remember. Netanyahu's name will not be remembered as a protector of Israel, as he claims, but as the man who led it down the path of destruction. He has not secured Israel's future. He has condemned it. His actions have not brought peace, only ensured that generations of Palestinians will grow up with nothing but loss, nothing but anger, nothing but the memory of what was stolen from them. The world is watching, and the world is speaking. Protests are growing. The streets are filled with voices demanding justice. Countries are cutting ties. The International Criminal Court is investigating. The tide is turning. Ayman Odey has made it clear. History will remember. The people of Gaza will remember. And so will the ghosts of the children Netanyahu has buried. Their blood will haunt him. And if we do nothing, it will haunt us too.